Minister Fee's announcement.
Well, first of all, I think it's important for the members of the public to understand that there's a little bit of a miscommunication or disconnect going on with regards to what's actually happening at the Corporation of Hamilton. Some days ago, the mayor put out a statement saying he was suspending all meetings. That was a sort of an attempt to sort of cut off another action that was happening behind the scenes, where we had gave the mayor notice that we were going to ask him to resign. He then sort of concocted some sort of story about some misbehavior in a meeting or something and went to the media. Basically, which will come to light in the not too distant future, is the Corporation of Hamilton is in a very severe situation when it comes to finances. Most people recall that we have been trying to work to get a hotel built in Parlerville site. This project predates our administration, so administrations prior to us have been working on that. The mayor, unbeknownst to the council, flew up to England and basically rubbing shoulders with the developer. Him and the secretary went on taxpayer money, didn't ask, didn't tell us, hung out for several days, flying around in England, and got so comfortable with these people that they came back and they signed away $12 million of taxpayers' money to be invested. This is a clear breach of corporations' sort of policies and guidelines of what we're there for. Our lawyers have already instructed us that they were not consulted and they were not aware that this action took place. We have seen the documents that sort of speak to the action that was taken. And when we approached the mayor and the secretary about it, they basically had little to no responses.
So why was this not said before?
Well, the funny thing is, the mayor asked us, we asked the mayor to have a meeting to address him properly for the resignation letter. The mayor asked us to wait till Wednesday, and then turned around and went to the media and said he's not having any more meetings. But he distinctly said, well, I will meet with you guys on Wednesday. We asked for the meeting on the Monday. I think it was the Tuesday. He came out and went to the media. Minister Fahey has in fact done the exact same thing. We had a meeting with him on Friday, a meeting that we requested. The sole purpose for the meeting with the minister was to inform him of the dire straits that the corporation is going to be in. We have cases filed against us. They're getting ready to take Parlerville Car Park from the Corporation of Hamilton, because the mayor and the secretary went schmoozing in England with the so-called developer and decided to come back and sign away $12 million of taxpayers' money. Now, these things are going to come out whether the minister likes it or not. They're going to come out whether the mayor likes it or not. The fact of the matter is, the minister then turned around, having been given this information, document included, in the presence of our lawyers, and did the exact same thing. Asked us to have a cool-down period between Friday and Monday so that we can get back to the table and see if there's some way we could work it out. We asked the minister to look at the documentations and to come back to us and make a decision whether or not he felt that the mayor had acted unjustly and unilaterally or not. The minister comes back today with a signed letter saying he's taking stewardship. If this 3-day period was for an opportunity to reflect, as he so put it, then why come with a letter already prepared? He didn't ask us to say, have we resolved anything? He didn't ask us if we had come to any better conclusions or we were prepared to find a way to work together. He already had his mind made up. But I think the truth of why he done what he done is in this little report that you just gave me. His remarks. The minister does not want the Corporation of Hamilton to challenge the municipal changes that they have brought about. They are very severe to the Corporation of Hamilton. They don't allow the Corporation of Hamilton to function properly. And more importantly, they interfere greatly with the powers conveyed to elected officials. Now, for 200 years, people have been elected by the municipalities, and they've had certain powers and rights. The minister wants to keep intact the electoral system, but he wants to take away the powers for himself. Now, our thing is real simple. If he has the power to take the Corporation of Hamilton over, then he should. But if you're going to leave it in the hands of the taxpayers and the voting public, then we should keep the power. And it's a real simple decision. Either you have the power to take it for yourself, take it. What bothers me the most about Bermuda as a country is when PLP was in power, a black government, and the government wanted to take over the Corporation of Hamilton. All the white businesses, and for all the good reasons that they noted while the PLP was in power, were against it. The only difference now is a white government in power, same Corporation of Hamilton, and now all of a sudden it's okay. The problem I have, black or white or different, one day the OBA is not going to be in power. And the Corporation of Hamilton that has served Bermuda well for the last 200 years, whether I'm there or somebody else, is going to be missed. We need those two separate and distinct bodies of power to operate and do their function. And the issue right now is the minister, instead of worrying about what is the real issue, which is a mayor that's going rogue, who's abdicated his duties for personal gain, right? And it's all laid out in documents that were presented to him, will rather take stewardship of the Corporation of Hamilton to circumvent a court case that really he can't avoid.
Which I heard was supposed to be coming up really shortly.
It's within the next few days. But the last time we went to court, and the public should know this, the last time we went to court, the government withdrew stewardship right when there was getting ready to be a judgment, or before the courts made their ruling. In other words, once they withdrew it, then there was no need for the courts to hear out the case because the stewardship order was already removed. If they were serious about getting to whether or not they had the power to do this or not, they should have let the courts make the decision when they had stewardship. So why throw any toe right before the courts get involved, so that we're still left in the situation now where we're going to go back to court to figure out if what they're doing is legal or not. And I suspect that they will do the same this time around. Two separate issues. One issue is this council has cited the mayor for all his illegal actions and bad behaviors, and he has jeopardized the Corporation of Hamilton tax dollars. That's a fact, a known fact. The minister is aware of this. Instead of addressing those issues, he has chosen to take this opportunity to serve his own interests and to try to circumvent the corporation's right to seek the court's opinion about what is being infringed upon them.
How did the relationship between the mayor and some members of his council get so bad?
You know, once upon a time I would have not been prepared to say this. The mayor has a track record of being a very selfish individual. What I did not know and what I regret to know now, the mayor has very little business experience. He's had very few jobs and he's been a part of very few entities. And it shows every day in his leadership. He has no idea how to work with people. He has no idea how to compromise. And quite frankly, he has no interest in working with other people because he is a selfish individual. Now, I don't say that lightly, right? And that is not my, that is my observations. A lot of people who know Grandmother Bridge prior to us getting elected, when we were running with him, was saying similar things about him, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I can say it has been my experience for the entire time being at the Corporation of Hamilton that he has demonstrated that time after time. He has no interest in being a part of a team, and he's not a very good listener, he's not a very good team player. So one by one, it has occurred. For me, it occurred a long time ago. What is a bit frustrating for me is that my colleagues have just come to the point of their breaking point, and it's at the end of our term. So me as a younger person of the group is quite disappointed because we have basically squandered our whole administration supporting this man, and now at the 11th hour we've all come to the same conclusion that he's no good, not even for another week, another day, but we're only 4 months left in our term. However, we still have big work to do for the corporation itself. I don't fight for the corporation for my own personal gain. I fight for the 200 people or the 200 years prior to me. They had a reason, they had a purpose. And to say the corporation doesn't have a purpose today is to say that the 200 years before today were not relevant. And so whether it's me or the next group of elected officials, I hope that the corporation remains a separate entity and that whoever is elected to represent the corporation will continue to fight against government, this government or any other government, from taking it over in the way that they're seeking to. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with certain reforms, but certainly they need to dialogue with the corporation and respect that we as two separate entities. I know this because when they want to use our buildings and our property and our waterfront for like something like America's Cup, they have to ask our permission. and we have to give them consent to do so. The fire station belongs to the Corporation of Hamilton. The Bermuda Library belongs to the Corporation of Hamilton. The ferry terminal belongs to the Corporation of Hamilton. All those buildings they pay rent on, and because they belong to the Corporation of Hamilton, 200 years worth of taxpayer dollars has built up the infrastructure of the Corporation of Hamilton. The government's not entitled to that, and even the administration prior to ours made the argument that if they want to disband the Corporation of Hamilton, then they should give the taxpayers who've been paying double taxes to the country. So we pay our land tax just like everybody else, but we also pay city taxes. All the assets that the Corporation of Hamilton has acquired over the last 200 years has come out of taxpayers' dollars. People who live in the city who pay double taxes, businesses who pay taxes for the benefits of the corporation's assets and facilities. So the government has no right to come in and just take this.